bones in, pull the shoulders down. Find your balance through your feet. Find big toe lines, lift the inner arches up. Stop and you turn your feet straight ahead. Stop and you turn your feet straight ahead. Yeah. Shoulders in, shoulders down. Connect with the natural curves of your spine. Thoracic curve out, lumbar curve in, cervical curve. And then lift your arms up. Take a few breaths here to kind of again lengthen the body. 1. Use your breath to open your ribs. 2. I'm going to arc a little to the right. 3, opening the side ribs, both sides. 4, squeeze the block right in the center. And slowly bring yourself up, center. Squeeze the block right in the center and then arc the other way. The hips level, neutral pelvis, natural curves. And pull it back up to center. Release the block in your hands. Just put that block quietly down. Bring your back of your hands to your sacrum. Find neutral pelvis first. So that means little lumbar curve. Both tailbone and pubic bone drop down evenly. Too much one way or the other takes you either into posterior or anterior tilt, so just neutral right now. Take your fingers to your back ribs and just notice if you have thoracic natural curve out happening or are you arching so much. Bring your hands back to your pelvis. Drop your tail down more. You start to lift your ASISs up. And that starts to take your pelvis into posterior tilt. ASISs lift up. And the sitting bones go down. Squeeze the front of your block to counter the extra squeezing of the glute tendency. So you squeeze a little bit at the front of the block, which is taking you to the opposite, right? It's taking you towards anterior tilt. And that's your counteraction to the pelvis actually going towards posterior tilt. The counteraction is to squeeze the front of the block to remind the pubic bone to drop. Hands are on the back of the sacrum. Posterior tilt, posterior tilt, leaning back a little bit with your upper back. If you feel compression in your lower back, I think you all know what to do by now, right? So take care of yourself. Don't go any further if there's any compression at all. If you're comfortable, you go a little further. If it feels good, go further. Keep your head in line with your spine. Don't let your back of your neck get scrunched. You can take your hands down your hamstrings if you like. And then slowly lift yourself back up. Squeeze the middle of the block. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the middle of the block. Squeeze. Loop your shoulders a couple of times. Find your big toe lines, lift your inner arches up. Bring the backs of your hands to your sacrum. Pull the ASISs up and the tailbone down. Squeeze a little of the front of the block, and that protects you from actually going too far into the posterior tilt. So posterior tilt is the main action. Squeezing the front of the block helps you to find the dropping of the pubic bone, the counteraction. And then it's an exploration of balance. And you'll know when you've found balance because it will be effortless and painless. Find your version, and if you'd like to take your hands to your hamstrings, you can. If that's not appropriate for you, just leave them on your sacrum. The last little bit, if it feels good, you can let your head go. Come towards a squat with walk. Squeeze it, squeeze it. Take your arms forward, squeeze it. Squeezing. If it bothers your knees, take care. And we're going to gracefully plunk our hips to the ground.